All right, the final structure to take a look at as far as major hold downs go, the major variations of osekomi, is Tateshiho Gatame, and this is straddling him head on and controlling his upper body. So we're going to be over the top with the man first, making sure that we're in our upper body positions like we like. Straddling him across, we're going to come under his head, control his arm up, and I like to bring my hand inside of my bicep, tricep here and make compression this way. So the focus of the power of what you're trying to compress, again, is largely in the corner of this shoulder, compressing down through his neck. And your whole body is arching. You arch your back and press down through your upper body, straight through this point. So we'd like to pressurize him as much as possible right through here. You can tell you, do I have it? Mm-hmm. Okay, I got him pressurized. That's good. Now, what's going on at the lower body, as that's happening, is my legs are hooking under and inside of his shins here, and they can do a variety of things. They can ride up like this, and this has the feeling of lifting up like you're at the gym and you're doing one of those big hamstring curl machines, and you're lifting and everything's curling up at the same time. So you're arching forward with the upper body and through the torso, and in the lower body, your low back is arched in and you're lifting from the thighs and the hamstrings. This gives you the optimal ride to put the pressure right up into his shoulder and head process right here. Good, go ahead. Now, as the man tries to escape, his legs can do all sorts of things. I can throw my toes out and control this. If the feet start getting very slippery and starting to get away from me, I can always close my feet together like two hands praying. So being very conscious of what's going on at the level of the feet, that they splay out or they come together and clap together to pray. A third option that happens is sometimes if you ride very high, you can get your feet tucked up under him. So they'll actually start riding up under his hip socket. Then you can wind up putting him up on blocks, basically. And if your feet are tucked up under him tight, he can tell you he has a hard time getting purchased with his hips. Good. It does give you some punishment with your skin on the surface of the floor that way. But it is a powerful tool because once his hips are set up on blocks, it makes it very difficult for him to get any power. So those are the basic functional elements. There's a variety of things you can be doing with your hands other than compressing the head and neck. This is just my preference. Many people like to reach down over the top instead of compression through the shoulder and down through the middle of his back, for instance. This sort of hold right here, as they set this sort of thing on him and give him an uneven surface to work on. That's very smart as well. All of those can be useful. In terms of your basic escape ideas, the first thing he needs to do if he's dealing with my compression of his head and neck is he wants to set his hand again by his ear like this. So he'd like to get a little space between here and there. At the same time, his free hand wants to reach up and get a hold of the back of my collar and pull it down. Boom. And so he makes a little space right there. As he makes that space, he'd like to work this elbow tight under him and feed his thumb in to that collar grip right there, keeping it all nice and tight. Once his elbow is set in my sternum, right in the square of my chest, he's going to use that surface as he bridges. Boom! And see how he's bridging this way? He's bridging towards a weak zone. He needs to bridge out. Woo! Ha! Yeah, that's right. Try where he goes. So let me try it on him and see if we can set up this bridge for you a little bit. So you go ahead and give me a Tateshiho. There you go. All right, now let me talk for a second. As he sets this on, if he gets it all where he wants it, my probabilities go way down. He may well extinguish me for the night. If he doesn't, well then, good for me. Basically, the beginning action I want to take to keep this thing from compressing right into my neck from the get-go is I'm going to take my hand, put it on my fist, and drive his head away. That's something I neglected to tell him about a second ago. Driving the head away, then I'm going to set this grip and get this right next to my head. As I set this grip, I pull it, I coil his back and shoulder down, and I slip my elbow underneath. Once the elbow slipped, I set my thumb right in here. Top arm is going to reach over and keep a hold of this whole shoulder process, tricep, bicep, and grab my own lapel, grab my own gi, so that I'm encircling this whole thing. Now, if he continues to fall apart and go over that way, that's cool, but typically they're fighting you this whole time trying to get back on top. And as that happens, I'm going to make sure my outside foot hits the ground, and as it hits the ground, I'm driving right on over with my elbow side. From this elbow side, we can bridge down and in and make a one-arm choking action for him go. All right, so let's see it one more time, and let's see what happens at his feet. He's able to stop a lot of this action of driving if he can encumber my feet properly. So he can stop me from, yeah, there he goes. And he can actually punish me pretty bad with those shins against my legs. Ow, that hurts, right. Now, one of the things you can do when they're encumbering your legs like that and punishing your shins is you want to bring one in and one out at the same time. So you're going to cock one leg up, straighten the other one out. Boom! After that happens, reverse it. And it usually extracts at least one leg. Sometimes you get lucky and you get two. Now, while he's busy trying to get your legs controlled again, we're driving his head away. Oh, I nearly knocked him off. So that little action of driving the head away gave me a little space, a little time to set the collar. I reached in, I make this collar action. I set him back down and I torsion him back toward the side he came from. This gives me the option of sliding this elbow in against his soft neck surface. I make my thumb grip in on the back of this collar. And again, I want to control the shoulder with my grip holding it against my own lapel. Now my legs are encumbered again, right? So he can be reaching in and messing with my ability to drive. So what do I got to do? One in, one out, bam! And once it comes out, up it comes, over we go. Drive in, set for your choke. Go to town. All right. That's basic issues for Tateshiho Gatame. It's not the only escape by any means. There's many, many other escapes. One powerful function that gets in here, particularly people that are novices at holding it, is often you can just drive their leg down and encumber their foot. So you often get this. Somebody doesn't quite know what they're doing very well. Let's get this side. There you go. And if they don't know quite what they're doing very well, this free hand side can reach down right at their knee, right at the low side. Drive that down and overhook. Huh. Easy, easy, easy ride. Now a real pro is not going to let you get away with that. If he starts feeling you touch his thigh, he's going to get seriously intent. I'm not letting this go down. So you don't want to build a habit thinking you can always get away with that. But you will find an oddly large number of people for whom that little action right there will do the job for you. So it's something you don't want to ignore, but at the same time you don't want to become dependent on. Because if you think you can always do it, you'll get surprised. So that's basics for Tateshiho Gatame. Thank you.